Hey there, 28th of November 2025. I'm Drutter, and this is a silver price update. Because check out that massive breakout on the daily chart. Look at that last candle there. That is a beaut right there. So I want to look at a few charts. That's the daily. I also want to look at the weekly and the quarterly charts. As on the daily and the weekly charts, there are some cup and handle formations that have just completed, and usually that means a breakout to the upside. So and they're kind of nested cup and handles. We got a major cup and handle on the quarterly chart, and then a small one here, as you can see, on the daily chart that has just finished, and helping us to pop up to a new all-time high. So that'll help us to figure out kind of what's coming next. And but first, I want to do a review of the last few weeks of price action as seen on my videos, the last 3 videos I did. Starting with my video on the 12th of November. Is really nice for the daily chart. It's a few days ago people were asking, so what's going on here? Pullback or bear market or what? Because on the, what was it, 17th, I think, of October is when Trump came out and said, I'm going to do 100% tariffs on China. And everything crashed, every market, cryptos, precious metals, stocks. It only took about just over a week for the market and the silver to wash out and for it to hit a bottom around 47 bucks, 46 bucks. And next thing you know, it was up to 48, and like I said, 48 and change on Sunday night. And I had to look at the chart and I said, that looks really good for silver. I looked around and I couldn't see much analysis. Everyone was kind of quiet, like, don't know what's going to happen. When it goes to all-time highs again above 55, and you'll probably see a little bit of headlines and stuff, but it's going to get a lot warmer than that. It's going to get a lot more interesting as time goes by. But so anyways, I've made a purchase of some silver bullion again. I'm using crypto, so I was there was a little spike on the Bitcoin chart up to like 106 or something at the same time as silver was still down at 48, and I was looking at it thinking, it's about to pop up and retest those that high. I didn't know it would do it so quickly though. It's always nice to make a purchase and then even before it arrives in the mail, the chart has changed in your favor. It doesn't always happen that way, but it did this time for me anyway. And here we are at 54 and 0.2 at the time of recording this. On the daily chart, that's looking really nice. It looks obviously like it is retesting that high from a couple of weeks, or 3 weeks ago, and it will be obviously going to break that. Right away, don't know. This might be actually a good time for a pullback. It's up, it's up too much. It's also facing resistance, and there's also been, Trump has come out now and said that he's signing the government back to work or whatever. So this shutdown is over. So I think this spike over the past few days has been in response to that shutdown, going to be over soon rumor. And then so as you buy the rumor and then you sell the news. So we've had the news now tonight. They say it's over now. So there could be a pullback here. There's a few reasons for why there could be a pullback here. And that would be totally normal, and it would be totally healthy. And in fact, that's going to form another cup and handle right there. There's the cup that's just been made. And if you do a little pullback down to, 51 or something, or even 50 bucks, and then back up again, there's the handle. And then once it breaks 54, there's going to be a massive, massive push to the upside. So either way, it's going to go now or it's going to go soon. Above that level, and it's going to continue on. Gold, I'm not going to talk about too much. When it starts to go up, that's when they want to buy again, especially when it's at all-time highs. That's when they'll buy. So that's when maybe the retail market will start to really get involved over the next little while, as you hear on the news, and silver and gold are at all-time highs again, and that looks like it's coming. Thanks for watching, and talk to you guys soon. Then my next video on November 17th, sort of happening again. The price is hovering somewhere around $50. It came down from 54 about a week ago, or I guess not quite a week ago now, and late last week that was. And so it looks to me like it might be forming a handle on another cup there, the 54 at the top and 46 or so at the bottom, and 50 is about the middle point. So it's come down to 50 now. If it drops down too much further, then that's not a cup and handle formation anymore. It's more like a W, which some people actually look for as well as kind of a bullish indicator too. So it does look like if the price, stabilizes at some point in the next month or two and starts to creep back up again, no matter what, it's going to make quite the bullish formation, and there's going to be a pop to the next level above. So the physical market is really hot right now. If you can get your hands on physical and anywhere near spot prices, you're lucky. And then my video last week. Nice to see silver moving up again today. It came down, last time I talked to you, it was 54 bucks. I said that could be the top of a cup, because it was $54 a couple of weeks ago. And so if we do a pullback here, maybe it will form a handle. And now looking at the daily chart, you can see, maybe I'll put it on the screen, you can see that it is forming the handle on a cup. So if that price goes back to 54 and then breaks above, anytime in the next, say, week or so, without, of course, first going down below 46, which that probably wouldn't happen, but if it goes above the 54 point again in the next week or so, then that is the end of that handle. That will form the end of that handle, and it would be a very, very bullish formation. So that was 1 month of perfect price prediction, including exact price points and days, when most other analysts were either wrong or had just gone quiet. A lot of people didn't really want to make a prediction after Trump's big announcement of tariffs that brought us from that all-time high of $54 down to 46 bucks. And now today it's taking out that all-time high, and we're now at $56.50. That's nice to see, but it is only just the beginning. Absolutely only just the beginning. What do I expect on the daily chart? Well, we're going to break for the weekend now, so momentum changes over the weekend, so there could be a day off on Monday or something like that. I don't expect it to retrace all the way back down to lose that entire candle, though it may retest 54.5 or so. It may. I don't know about that. There will be pullbacks along the way, as I always say, but we are continuing upward on the daily chart. There will be a lot more green candles coming. They won't all be green, but there's going to be a lot more, and the overall direction is upward. Let's look at the weekly chart. And I've chosen this weekly chart to go back to the COVID crash in March of 2020 on the left of your screen there. Each of these candles represents 1 week, so you can see all the price action between the beginning of the COVID pandemic and the entire rest of the last 5 years, all on there, all on the one chart. And look at that little cup and handle on the right hand side there. It's a little bit harder to see on a weekly chart, but you can see that came up, came back down, went back up again, couldn't quite break through, came back down, but not as far as before, and then within fairly quick action, it was only 2 weeks there of a handle. So it was about a 4-week cup and a 2-week handle. It's pretty much perfect textbook chart formation there. I'm not exactly sure why this chart is obeying classic technical analysis again. It had been so manipulated for so long. All of a sudden, these chart formations are working nicely, and that's nice for me because it makes these predictions easy to do. I'm surprised that more people have not been calling this, and I hope people have been listening to my videos and taking advantage of these price moves and price changes and stuff to grab some physical silver when you can at anywhere near spot prices, or you're paying like $10 a premium on a single troy ounce now. It's amazing, and that's only going to continue to go up as the price goes up. So the premium will go up, and then as the demand goes up, then the premium goes up as well. And it all kind of goes hand in hand, and we're looking at a silver bullion shortage coming very soon, unless something major changes here. So that is the weekly chart. You can see it was pretty quiet there once it broke above 23 bucks, 24 bucks, and it sat around that level for a long time, and 2021, 2022, 2023. And then in 2024, it started to get a little more exciting, and that's when I started doing a bit more silver videos, and I've been kind of on the case ever since then, sort of trying to remind people that this is about to complete that big formation that we've been looking at for a very long time. That cup, this is the end of the cup. I'll go to the monthly chart here to show you, and you can see the weekly price action there on the right, where we just dipped down to COVID in 2020. It dipped down to below 14 bucks there, back up to the 20s, sideways for a couple of years, and then 2024 has been a bullish move, and then 2025 has been quite the breakout. In the last, say, look at those last two candles, especially the last 6 months in silver, have been amazing, amazing. And that, of course, does complete the handle on that massive, massive cup and handle formation that has been making itself known on the chart for decades, literally. I don't know who first called that cup, if it, that cup, but the handle was noticed in 2015 by my friend Derek, Endless Mountain, rest in peace, buddy. He noticed it when it popped back up above $15, and it went up to about 20 bucks there in 2015, 2016. He said, that looks like it may have been the bottom of that, and that would be forming a handle on a massive, massive long-term cup and handle. And he was right. It did, over the last 10 years, continue to complete that cup. So it was a, 1980 to 2020. It was a 30-year cup, and then a, from about 14, 15-year handle. So almost exactly perfect for a cup and handle on that chart. It's almost like someone painted that there and created that. But that's supply and demand, and that's the economy right there on that chart. That's all painted right into that chart of the entire economy, and everything that's happened over the past few decades is represented there. Stock market crashes and bull markets of various commodities and things, it's all marked in on that chart. So really interesting to see that formation complete. Do I expect this to, a lot of people say, it flips over, so you can imagine that cup flipping upside down and imagine a move that same size. I don't think so. This is a logarithmic chart, so that would put us into the thousands of dollars, I think. But I do expect silver to move up toward $1,000, especially in Canadian dollars, but maybe even American dollars, well into the several hundreds of dollars. That's in the coming couple of years. Over the next 6 months, what do I expect? The next two candles on this chart here, I think they will be green candles. I think both of the next two green candles will be green candles. Are they going to be as big as those last two? Actually, maybe they will. Yeah, maybe they will. It is going to be a very interesting move over the next little while, unless something major changes in the economy. And I mean major, like they come out and say it's a great reset, and like everything's, commodities and everything are all being revalued and repriced, and that could throw a monkey wrench into the chart for sure, because they can just announce what a price of something is, and that may be what happens in the future. I sure hope not. I hope the free market is allowed to survive what's coming. But this chart tells us that silver is going up. The smaller on the daily chart cup and handle is very bullish, pushing us up towards $60. And a move to $60 on this, even obvious on this large chart, a move up to $60. You can see it. It's not just a couple of pixels. It puts that chart, it looks almost obscene, the move on the right-hand side there. Those candles are just incredible to see. We have seen them before. We've seen them at the bull market of 2011. Those kind of candles happened. And the bull market in 1979 and 80, those were huge green candles. So we can see candles even a lot bigger than that. We can see moves $5 and $10 a day maybe coming in silver. That's another thing that Endless Mountain said a long time ago. He said once it breaks out above that cup and handle and goes up to above $100 and continues on, you're going to see $5 and $10 days in silver. Absolutely. So that's what I think is coming next on the daily chart, the weekly chart, and the quarterly chart. What do you think? Let's continue this conversation in the comments section. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.